Vertical lines, chalk and drawing. We are here for episode 2 of our occupational skills update. Now, for those of you who don't know me, this channel was inspired by the Queen of Down syndrome, my sister of 19 years. And this specific journey is what I wish I knew 19 years ago my sister was born, and how we are applying it to my daughter, who we're going to call Princess P, who has chromosome deletion syndrome. So, if you guys missed episode 1, go check that out. And for episode 2, let's get into it. So, we have a lot of updates. I'm actually writing down and tracking all of the updates. If you want the tracker specifically on the occupational skills, let me know. I will either message you the link, or the link is in the description below, along with anything else that I talk about in this video. So for the first thing is, on March 1st, we had a goal, says drawing for 1 minute without losing focus or needing redirection. For those of you who have toddlers and kids, you know that kids will go from one activity to the next, and getting them to stay focused is extremely difficult. Now, when you have a child with global development delays, it is crucial that they learn how to focus. Why, you might ask? Well, think about it like this. If a regular toddler can pick up a crayon and start scribbling at the age of 1, my daughter, at nearly 2.5, is first picking up a crayon now. So she does need a little bit of extra focus to master her skills. Now, when I talk about focus, I'm not talking about, hey, this is what you have to do. No. That's too much. So here's how we built her focus. Now, with the Queen of Down syndrome, she had a ton of therapy, and a lot of them actually did say, sit down, we're going to work. You need to focus. And back then, when there was no research or material, we were like, yeah, she needs to focus. So with Princess P, we did it a little bit differently. We have these work shelves, and if you want to know more about them, there are videos on that. So we have all of these prepared work shelves, and she has a little desk. And I'll actually sit with her, and I'll give her, we have a whole box of arts and crafts supplies, and I'll say, what would you like to work on today? And she gets to pick the material. Now, yes, I only give her one material at a time, because if you know toddlers, they like mess everywhere. And I cannot have flying paint, dot arts, and markers, and broken crayons, all because I want her to focus. Nope. So every night, we have her art book, and she gets to color with any medium she wants, however she wants. And we have surpassed the 1 minute mark at her desk of working. So thumbs up to that one. The next skill we've been working on since March 1st, and I pick 3 goals a week. So since March 1st, another skill she's mastered was she can flatten Play-Doh with the palm of her hand. Now that is super important, to take the Play-Doh and flatten it. Oh, that is super important for so many things, like building her strength, her handwriting, scissors in the future. So to me, that was an important goal to work on. Now, something she can't do is she cannot draw a vertical line. Now, if you look at the goal tracker here, every single week so far, we've introduced vertical lines different ways. Can she stand and make a vertical line? Can she draw a vertical line for 30 seconds? Can an adult make a vertical line, and can she copy? And the answer is no. So that's why this tracker is important, is because all of these ways of introducing vertical lines, she still can't do. But let me tell you what, because it's on the tracker, I keep going back, reintroducing it, and moving on to skills. And that was what I wish I knew when the Queen of Down syndrome was little. I now have a way to keep going forward. When the Queen of Down syndrome was little, I remember her OT, and when she was like 4 or 5, just literally hand over hand for 30 minutes straight, vertical. It was really letter writing at that age. Letter writing. Now that I look back, look at this. We just accomplished 2 goals. We're not even close to vertical lines yet, but we've accomplished more goals. The Queen of Down syndrome never had that opportunity to. March 6th, believe it or not, none of the goals were accomplished. I'm going to review them quickly, and the reason is, no idea. She just wasn't ready. And that was an eyedropper to transfer water, large vertical strokes, hence the vertical strokes, and squeeze a sponge into a bowl. I think she can do that. I don't know, just never got around to it. But maybe this video will force me to get around to it. Moving on to March 13th, the goals that she had accomplished was using chalk with controlled pressure. Could she do vertical lines? Nope. But can she use chalk to scribble? Yep. And again, without this tracker, who knows? Maybe we wouldn't even have focused on it. So, super excited. We're going to skip to March 27th. And another goal that she did accomplish is using a short crayon for mark making. Now, I want to show you guys something that I did not know with the Queen of Down syndrome. Now, something that I did not know is a tripod grasp. We did the pom-poms and the strengthening and the this and the that. But guess what? If you take a little crayon, the hand automatically goes into tripod grasp. Who knew? My daughter is learning shapes. So I have this metal inset. And guess what? She's learning her shape, working on tripod grasp, coloring and focusing, and all I did was break some crayons and set it on a tracer. So that is something that I wish I knew. It's because I have this tracker is that I'm able to take multiple goals in sequential order and present it to Princess P in a way that makes sense. Another goal that she accomplished, and could you believe all these goals she accomplished in such a short time? We're talking about a month. And we had the holidays, Passover in between. Imagine 1 month with holiday break. This is what Princess P accomplished because every single therapist is aware of the goals we're working on. One of the goals we introduced April 10th was to press stickers onto a paper. And there is an optional extension is can she assist with the peeling. And guess what? She blew me away and did both. So basically we take the paper, bend it back. Can she take off the sticker and bloop it on the paper? And yes, she can do it. Now, just a few tips if you are going to purchase the goal trackers, and if you're not, basically every week I look at the goal tracker. There are about 100 goals, and there's about 4 books per series. So you get 400 goals. And I look through it, and I go in order, and I keep flipping through the pages. They're labeled A through J, and I pick a goal in order. And every single week, I update 3 goals. And why? We don't work on all 3. But it helps me think about what I'm going to present her. When you have a child, the Queen of Down syndrome at that point had occupational therapist, physical therapist, special education teacher. She was in a classroom, and she had me, and she went to Sunday program. And when everybody was working on something else, the progress was so, each therapist was like, you have to do this, you have to do this, and it was so slow. Here with Princess P, every single therapist knows my goals, and my goals are up here. There are 3 goals that are presented every single week, and I rotate 1 goal out every single week, so it's always something different, and she is reaching milestones, not by pressure like the Queen of Down syndrome, but because we took it chilled. We said, what are we working on? I come up with the activities that work on multiple goals. And you know what? I'll tell you, it's April 17th. Here are the new goals we put in. And come back in a month to see what we've accomplished or haven't accomplished. And after I tell you the goals, I want to share you a funny story. So April 17th, the goals that we added to the tracker is moves toy car along a tape mark on a toy path. Now guess what? Can you guys guess it? It's going to be a vertical line. I don't know if she'll be able to move the toys. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. But because I'm aware that she has not done vertical line, this new goal, I'm going to take a piece of tape, put it on our carpet. I'm going to give her a toy car, and I, and all the therapists, are going to model a vertical line through play. We're just playing. But now we know how to sneak in the skill through play. Another new goal that we haven't even begun to work on was draw a large circle once you do it. So for example, and I write in code, so I have to understand it. I'm going to draw a circle, and Princess P is going to draw a circle. And let me tell you, I did not think of doing circles. Now, a little sneak peek coming to the future, we started a unit study, as you could see here, on vehicles, something I didn't think to do. But because I have the goal tracker, hence the piece of tape that the car is going to go along, vertical line, Princess P now can do circle, because as you could see here, circle, and Princess P is learning circle that I just showed you. Why? Because I know what I'm focusing on, and every single therapist knows what they're focusing on, and all they have to do is slip in these goals. We'll see if she'll master it or not, but because it's there, it's front and center. And the last new goal is picks up small items with thumb and index finger. And that's really important for pincer grasp. It's important for eating. It's important for really just doing stuff. If you can't do it, you can't sew, you can't do small home improvement. There's so many things you can't do. So having that good hand-eye coordination is just going to be super important. And before we finish, I just want to share a really funny story. So, like I mentioned, we are pushing vertical line. If you have any questions about that, let me know why it's important to me. There's actually a reason, and I'll be happy to make a video on it based on what the Queen of Down syndrome didn't have when she was little and what I'm learning for Princess P. But anyway, vertical line is important. So, myself, I try to model vertical line. Her ABA therapist, we have it taped on the wall, and every day she likes to color, and we model vertical line. And one of her therapists that worked really closely with me on developing her education is her special education teacher. And she's like, so can I move on to horizontal line? And I'm like, excuse me? No, you cannot move on to horizontal line. And she was like, why? I was like, because Princess P cannot do a vertical line. We can't introduce horizontal line. And she's like, she does it with me. And I'm like, stop. Just because Princess P does not show it to me, does not show it to her OT, does not show it to her ABA therapist, and this is something that why it's important that every therapist is on the same page, does not mean she did not show it to her special education teacher. Now let's think about it like this. I told the special education teacher flat out, I said, right now in almost all the categories we are halted because she can't draw a vertical line. You see my tracker? She is very aware of my tracker. She was the one who supported that I actually share it with you. So thank you. But because of this whole tracker situation going on, we left it like this. I said, guess what? You're the only one who can move on to horizontal line. Nobody else is. It's not going on the tracker. We are keeping it our hidden little secret. But that's what this is all about. It's not about one therapist. It's about putting everyone on the same page and allowing them to work within their domain to help Princess P learn and thrive and reach her goals in ways that we never thought possible. And, like I said, back when the Queen of Down syndrome was little, it was more of, okay, you work on your, goals, I'll work on mine. And you see how amazing she is, because you imagine how much more amazing she could have been if we all kind of worked together. And that is something, if you have specific questions, let me know, because I want to make videos just for you guys. The Queen of Down syndrome is 19. The amount of data we have on her, the amount of skills we are trying out with, Princess P, it's just going to get bigger and better. And I'd like to take it from my family, from my space, and share it with you guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Have a good day.